Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, boys and girls. Today is going to be a good one here. I actually just recorded this entire video on mute. Yeah, 7 years doing YouTube, and I've done that more times than I care to admit. What a noob. What a noob. Anyway, the second version, I'm positive is going to be way better than the first one. Today, we're going to talk about Coldheart, a build that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. Coldheart, one of the champions in the game that I definitely feel justifies, if you're lucky enough to pull more than one, building multiple Coldhearts. Some people build 3 or even 4 Coldhearts. I myself have 2. One decked out and destroy for the Scarab King. I can't show you any Doom Tower because the new cycle just started, so I don't have anything for you guys. But we will show you Fire Knight, Spider, and talk a lot about like the game changer, truly, no hyperbole here, the true game changer of the AI kind of quality of life improvements to the game and how it's going to impact Coldheart, and why I think that Reflex, a set that I am already a huge fan of, is even better. We can play around with Reflex because 40% chance to reduce the random skill cooldown does not apply to skills that are not on cooldown. So if we totally lock out a skill, in this case her Art of Pain, her A2, well, it's going to be reducing the Heartseeker. So every turn you get a 40% chance to boom, back-to-back Heartseeker. That's millions of extra damage, and of course more turn meter depletion, 100% turn meter depletion. Man, I think that Reflex and Coldheart are going to be a very strong option. One of the best rare champions in the game. To me, she's the best by far rare champion in the game. Nod to Reliquary Tender.
Remember me.
I know some people think Apothecary's in that conversation as well. For me, it's Coldheart on an island, on a cloud, in the sky, by herself, and then Reliquary's right underneath.
Though I have to say goodbye, remember me.
And then maybe Apothecary is there as well, maybe Bellower as well. But either way, guys, we're not here to rank rare champions. Ash, get back to the point here, man. Now, I want to give a quick disclaimer that I mentioned at the end of the muted video, but I think it bears mentioning now because it's important here, right? We're going to talk about building Coldheart after the AI changes go into the game, which could be, by the time that some of you guys are watching this. And we're going to talk about locking out her A2, right? But that's not going to be the right choice for everybody. And I think it's important to say that at the top here, because if you are somebody who is relying heavily on your Coldheart to clear waves inside the dungeon to get to a boss, or maybe it's Doom Tower waves, whatever it may be, maybe it's faction, a keep or whatever, make sure that you're not locking this out, right? Because if you are, then you're going to need another nuker. This build particularly is for people who are relying on their Coldheart mainly against Doom Tower or dungeon bosses, okay, against bosses, and you already have another nuker on your team to help for waves, okay? So it's important to note that. But if you're going to utilize her against bosses, I mean, what's more magical than getting back-to-back Heartseekers? That's crazy. That's crazy, okay? And she's going to be doing more of her A1, especially against the Fire Knight, which they already did kind of have a minor AI fix on that, so we'll show you everything in game. But briefly to go over a kit here, it has been about 7 months since we've done a Coldheart updated guide. 4 hitter on A1, incredible. 35% chance on each hit of heal reduction. On her A2, it's an AoE attack, 3 turn cooldown, decreased accuracy. If they're under heal reduction, also places a poison, okay? Heartseeker, though, it's all about Heartseeker. You have an extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Damage increases according to enemy max HP. It scales off of enemy max HP and attack, but way heavier off of enemy max HP. Whenever you see 2 kind of stats or metrics here on the damage based on, it scales usually much higher off of the first one. So enemy max HP. Attack is not that important, especially if we're blocking out the A2 of Coldheart, okay? So going back to her A1, look at her total stats first, right? 174 speed, 335 accuracy, pretty glass cannony at 27k and 1300 on the defense and the HP. But then we're prioritizing at least 70% crit rate, right? Because we have an extra 30% on Heartseeker. And then as much crit damage as you can get on her. 250 is middle of the road. Some people have 330 crit damage on their Coldheart.
Why should they be happy?
But you're still gonna see some insane numbers. Of course, you make those sacrifices on the crit damage to get her into a reflex set, to get her into a destroy set. My destroy Coldheart is similar, right? 262, 346 on crit damage and accuracy. I point out those two numbers because they're both very important. Accuracy, we always say around 10 to 12 accuracy per stage of the dungeon, okay? So stage 20 dungeon, we want around 200 to 220 accuracy, okay? For Doom Tower normal, we want around 200 to 250 accuracy. For Doom Tower hard, we want around 300 to 350 accuracy, especially as you get higher in Doom Tower hard. So accuracy is very important because, of course, the Heart Seeker's Terminator manipulation by 100% is still predicated on accuracy, even if you don't care about the decreased accuracy or the hero reduction on her A1 and her A2. Make sense?
Nope.
So back to the kit here, the build. The number one priority is getting your Coldheart into crit damage gauntlets, okay? I'll repeat that. The number one priority is getting your Coldheart into crit damage gauntlets. And once you do that, your number one goal is to build her with enough crit rate on the substats of her other artifacts, okay? So I'm looking for other artifacts with crit rate rolls to get her crit rate to at least 70. After that, accuracy. We just talked about the numbers you have to keep in mind in terms of important thresholds, depending on which dungeon that you're kind of going after, or Doom Tower or whatnot. So take all that into consideration, but attack is not that important, okay? If you don't believe me, I did a video about 6 to 8 months ago, again on Coldheart, where we put an HP percentage chest on her and we compared the damage to attack percentage chest. It was negligible on the A3. So if your Coldheart is dying, or she's being targeted, or you're in progression, or for any reason you need more sustainability on her, do not hesitate. You're not making a big sacrifice in putting her in an HP or a defense chest piece. Just keep in mind her HP and her defense are really, really, really low, so they're not scaling that well. She might be one of the craziest, someone who can do the math. She might be a crazy example where flat stats might help you out more with this low of defense at 738. I'm not sure though, I'm not advising that, I'm just throwing it out there because it doesn't scale that well in terms of, the scalability of 60% on 736 defense. Anyway guys, speed on the boots, attack percentage, if you can get away with it. If not, no harm, no foul, defense, HP. Also accessories, good place to get defense and HP are accessories if you need more sustainability on your Coldheart. Crit damage is going to be a must on your amulet. And accuracy for most of you guys is going to be an obvious choice for the banner, okay? Again, I have crit damage, attack percentage, speed on my boots, and we already talked about substats that we're looking out for here. Attack percentage, not that important, okay? I'd rather have more speed than attack. Masteries, I have a really big call out for you guys, right? Charge focus. Increase accuracy by 20 when this champion has no skills on cooldown. That's going to happen a lot more when you lock out her A2. Not just on Coldheart, but any champion that you're locking out abilities thanks to the AI. Charge focus suddenly becomes a much better mastery than it ever was previously because they're going to have less skills on cooldown because you're going to lock out skills, okay? Think about like Vizier, right? If you're only having his A1, he's not going to have any skills on cooldown ever, right? So you're always going to get 20 extra accuracy. Charge focus is a sneaky buff to this mastery with the AI fixes. Crit damage, flawless execution is what I recommend you guys go on all your enemy max HP champions. It does far more damage even than Giant Slayer, even though she has a 4-hitter on her A1 or War Master or even Helm Smasher on Coldheart. So these are the...
Hello, how are you doing today?
My green screen fixed. So these are the masteries, guys, and definitely go with what works for you guys, but I prefer support tree, offense tree, picking up the tier 6 of flawless execution. All right, now let's try her out in battle, guys. Again, I'm sorry that I can't do Doom Tower for you guys, but what I want to do is show you, first of all, Fire Knight 25. We have 3 champ, Deke, showcasing Deke here, guys. I got him. Hopefully some of you guys got him in the 10-time event as well. I passed on this one. Fire Knight 25. Fire Knight anything, Coldheart is the best champion in the game alongside Allure for Fire Knight. and that's including every legendary in the game. So if you have Coldheart, you have the best champion in the game for Fire Knight. A 4-hitter helps take that shield down. The turn meter, even in level 21 to 25, where it's only 50% instead of 100% turn meter on our Heartseeker, it's still incredibly good. You pair a Coldheart with an Allure if you have both of them, and you have the foundation of a Fire Knight team that can easily beat every level of Fire Knight, even level 25 all the way there. Just keep in mind that level 24 is more efficient in terms of energy for your artifacts. Also on this team, Allure deserves a call out because we can AI fix her, so she's only doing her A1. That's it, right? And you can see Seer bleeding every single enemy, absolutely annihilating them, dealing tons of damage. Some people are saying that Seer is going to benefit a lot from the AI as well. She won't go into her A2. You can lock out her A2, as we just saw there. Me personally, I respectfully think I disagree with that, because to me, and you guys can let me know, let me have it in the comments. I know you will either way if you disagree with me on this one. But I see a lot of these videos talking about champions who will benefit the most, and it seems like Seer is in quite a few of them. But for me, Seer's already pretty smart, believe it or not, on her AI, right? Because she's only using her A2 when she knows or thinks she can kill at least a few of the enemies, right? Otherwise, she's waiting for more buffs to be accumulated. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your big karma burn. Am I missing something there? Let me know. I mean, there's no, yeah, to me, she seems like I probably wouldn't lock out her A2, right? It's increased crit rate, it's weakened on the opponent, but I don't know. But look at this Fire Knight 25 team, guys. I mean, she's in Reflex right now. I haven't seen if she's gotten back-to-back Heartseekers, but you're really not going to see the power of Reflex. I'm showing you the build today, but keep in mind, at the time of this recording, we're still waiting. I think it's a few days away to get that AI. So her A2 is not locked out. She's going to be even better once the AI system comes into play, okay? But again, that caveat that I mentioned, if you're using her as a wave nuker, I have Seer on the team for that, on this team. But if you're using her as a wave nuker, well, maybe you want to think twice, or at least add in another nuker to your team so you got that covered, okay? So she puts out almost 1 million damage. Obviously, nothing compared to Seer, who's doing 700k on her AoE Karma Burn nukes. But she's really coming in handy against, again, the Fire Knight with a 4-hitter to get that shield down on the A1, and then the turn meter and a bunch of damage on the A3. And once we lock out the A2, we'll get more of that. And with the Reflex procs, on top of locking out the A2, it's going to be insane. So that is my Fire Knight 25 team, guys. Let me go ahead and show you my Spider team really quickly. Spider 20. I still farm Spider 20. I don't know about you guys. We have Stag Knight. We have Archmage Helmet for increased crit damage. We have Royal Guard and a couple Coldhearts. If you don't have 3 enemy max HP champions, you can use an HP burn strategy and even include a Coldheart. I have a whole Spider guide that I'll link for you guys in the show notes below as well. But we talk about different strategies and even some hybrid strategies of combining, say, a Direct Star Blood Twin and having a Coldheart on the same team. But if you're lucky enough to have 3 enemy max HP champions, whether they're 2 Royal Guards, 1 Coldheart, 3 Coldhearts, a Septimus, whatever you have, oftentimes even 2 you can get away with, you can do a strategy like this. That was 1.6 million damage and then a 1.5 million damage. Thank you very much, Coldheart. So between the 70% crit rate, the fact that we don't even have to worry about building her to 100% crit rate, and all the extra damage, and now they make her even better with the AI fix, with the Reflex, guys. Let me know how you feel about Reflex. Do you think I'm onto something here regarding Reflex having amazing synergy on some champions who have 3 abilities? If you lock out one, well, it's definitely going to always proc onto the other one that you don't have locked out. Reflex set is no joke, guys. Seriously, farm up Reflex. It's really, really good. So there it is, Coldheart 2.3, Coldheart 2.6. Beast mode, man. I'm so excited for these AI fixes. Can you tell? All these quality of life changes, I'm big fan of, big proponent of them. Let me know which other champions you'd like me to kind of revise or put out revised guides on these champions. That way we can talk about how effective they may be. There's so many good choices out there. Let me know in the comments below. I will revise a bunch of them in the coming week or 2. Thank you for watching all the way till the end, and as always, take care, guys.